Hello, everyone. Welcome to Future Proof Friday. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. And today we're talking about movement versus marketing, or marketing versus movement, how to truly reach and impact millions of your dream customers and consumers. So let's first talk about what marketing is and what it isn't, and how it's evolved and why it's so important to make sure that you're future proofing your market. So first and foremost, let me introduce myself. My name is Courtney McKenzie Newell. I am the CEO of Crowned Marketing and Communications and best-selling author of Future Proof, the blueprint for building a brand Gen Z and millennials love, and also the creator of the Future Proof Academy. Now, in the book Future Proof, which is available on Audible, Kindle, and in the print version, I talk a lot about the importance of future proofing your marketing in order to be a leader in the marketplace. So today I want to talk about what new school marketing is versus what old school marketing is. So let's talk about old school marketing. Years and years ago, not even that long ago, you would be able to put together a mailer or put together an ad in a really nice magazine and send it out to your customers. You could even send them emails and just remind them of the sales that you're having, the promotions that you're doing, and they would buy from you. That's what I consider old school marketing. And the reason why it's old school marketing is because the consumers now are educated. They know that they have a million different options in the marketplace. They know that they can go to YouTube, also known as YouTube University, and figure out what it is that they need to do in order to get the result that they want. They also know that things like podcasts and blogs are able to support them if they want to DIY it, right? And so if you're a business that operates in the professional services realm, then you really have to think about how to future-proof your marketing. And I will say there's no shortage of businesses out there today. You know it, I know it, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in. What really matters right now, especially right now, is that you catapult yourself and make sure that your brand is the one that people know, like, and trust. But how do you build that know, like, and trust factor? This is one of the biggest questions that I get. How do I build that know, like, and trust factor? Well, I'll tell you, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It does take time, but I will tell you, with every single piece of marketing that you put out, specifically the type that we're going to talk about today, you will learn exactly how and what you need to do in order to be the go-to expert in your industry. And this goes for positioning yourself as the future-proof CEO, and then also positioning yourself as a future-proof business. So let's talk about new school marketing. We talked about how important it is to make sure that you are seen as the go-to expert in your space, because if you're not seen as that, if you're not marketing and positioning yourself in that manner, what happens is you're literally competing with every single person who opens up shop. And thanks to beautiful websites and website templates like Squarespace and WordSpace and Wix, anybody can create a website within a day, and they can become, or they can be seen as, the go-to expert in their space. But what happens with that is that it creates this market where a lot of people aren't sure who the actual go-to expert is. So it takes a concerted effort, and it takes a real strategy in order to create a marketing plan that comes in where you are seen as the go-to expert. So let's talk about specifically how you do that. First and foremost, new school marketing is all about educating the consumer. It's all about highlighting what it is that makes your business the go-to expert. No matter what space, no matter what industry you're in, every business has their process. And if you're in the B2B space, a lot of us have our own frameworks. And when you're thinking about who you're going to do business with, that comes down to the business that you feel most comfortable with. And I will tell you, we've all experienced businesses that we thought would be great. The website was great. They sent us a couple emails. They had a couple promotions, and we invested our money with them, our hard-earned money with them, only to find out that they weren't giving us the desired result. And so what happens with that is the buyer, the next time around, although they still need that service, it's going to take that much more work to have them feel comfortable with working with you and working with your business. So let's talk about how you can curve that and how you can actually build a pipeline of customers who really want to work with you and know that you're the go-to expert. First, you have to educate them. Educate them on your process, educate them on your framework, educate them on the education and skill set of your team, and also just let them know some of the projects that you've done. Of course, testimonials reign supreme. People love to hear other people's experiences with you. But if you're someone who's just getting started or you've made a career switch, there is still an opportunity for you to elevate yourself and start to put out your perspective in what's happening in the marketplace. So some of the ways that you can do that is by creating what I like to call trend reports. And those trend reports are going to be emerging trends in the market. Right now is a perfect time to do emerging trends in your industry. So let's say, for example, you are someone who is let's say, for example, you're someone who is a lighting company, and you know in 2021 there's going to be new forms of LED lights or new forms of whatever the elements that make that LED light shine brighter. You know that there's going to be a new trend in the marketplace, or that's something that your business is developing. That's going to be a great opportunity for you to go ahead and let that be known. Let that be known. You can let it be known in the form of a video series so your consumers or your customers can get to know your business, your personality. You can do that in the form of a PDF. You can do that in the form of consistent webinars. Really, it doesn't matter what way you roll it out. It's more about the way that feels more authentic to you and the one that you know will resonate most with your customers. So I know for our customers, they love video, right? And so they also love audio. So we want to make sure that when we're producing our content, we're always doing it in video and audio form or a combination of the two. The next thing that you want to do is create offers. And those offers, a lot of times for small businesses, specifically businesses that offer professional services, the number one thing that I see businesses not doing enough of is creating those consistent offers. So those offers can be schedule a consult with my team, schedule and get a free appointment, see if this would be a good fit, download our free report. It can be any of those different offers, but the goal is to have what we like to call lead magnet. And those lead magnets are the way that you'll see who's actually interested in your product and service. So for example, if you were someone who is an engineering firm and you want to build a pipeline of customers that are interested in one of the services that you offer, you can create a white paper or a on-demand training like a webinar. You can also create a consult call, and the person who is interested on the other end, they would put in their name, their email address, their phone number, all of the details. When they do that, they're now going from cold to a hot lead because they've raised their hand and said, yes, I want in, I want to know more, I'm interested in doing business with, I'm interested in the opportunity or the exploration to work with your business. So that's what we like to call the cold to hot process. And you really want to make sure that you create a couple of offers. A lot of times for B2B, it's going to be a consult call. It's going to be a free downloadable report, a training. And then for B2C, it's going to be something similar as well. So a lot of times with B2C businesses, especially the newer ones, there's not enough, there aren't enough offers for people to really feel connected to the brand. And I will tell you, for B2C businesses, creating a discount code of 20% off, especially 10% off, is not enough. I see a lot of brands doing the 10% off email, sign up for our newsletter and get 10% off, and you sign up for the 10%, you never get a newsletter, and there's no connection after that. So there's a huge miss there because you're not actually building that rapport with your customers. You may get them to buy one time, but that's not really the goal. Because if you have a high churn rate, so you bring in a customer and you bait them with the 10% or 20% off, but you don't ever continue that relationship building, they still need the product or service. They've actually let you know that, hey, I'm a hot lead, I'm very interested, I will eventually be ready to buy, even if they don't right now. But if you do that, then what happens is you're setting your competitor up for success, because you basically let them know that, I got your information that I wanted, but that's all I needed. And I'll reach out to you when I'm having another promotion or, sales aren't doing so well, versus them going to a competitor and already having that experience with your brand and not wanting to work with your brand and really being turned off. So that's really how you're able to build that know, like, trust factor. And again, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not something that you just create one white paper and it's done. The third part of that is really marketing that. It's really marketing that. So we talked about educating, we talked about creating that offer. Now let's talk about having what we like to call our customer journey map, so that you can really pinpoint what it is where the steps are in your business. So let's say step one, they go to your website. What is the one action you want them to take? Typically, that one action that you want them to take is to sign up for your offer. So they go to your website, and if you go to our website, we have our offer is to sign up for our free 5-day masterclass. That's all around future-proof marketing, right? So that's the one call to action that we have. That's our one offer. Once they get that offer, then there's several other events that are triggered, whether it's in the form of emails, whether it's in the form of booking a call with someone from my team, whether it's in the form of downloading a free guide or whatever that may be. But you really have to think about what that customer journey looks like for your customers. And that's going to be the way that you build that rapport. Again, especially if you're in the B2C or B2B space, customers don't just go to your website and say, okay, yeah, I want to buy right now. It typically doesn't happen like that. That only happens historically 2% of the time. So that means 98% of the people who come to your website, they're not ready. They're just kind of getting their feet wet. They're just starting their initial research process, especially when we're talking about high dollar services. So what you have to think about is that customer journey map. What is it what does it take, and what do they need to know in order to know that you are the go-to expert in your space? So say day one is going to be, you create that offer of join us for our on-demand webinar. And on that on-demand webinar, you walk through your processes, you walk through the communication, you walk through some case studies or whatever it may be. Then phase two could be book a call with someone from my team. Then phase three could be book a follow-up call from someone from my team. And if they do, what we do with our clients is we have a yes and no map. So the customer journey map will look something like this. If they sign up for the offer, phase number one. Then phase number two is you get them on the phone. And if you get them on the phone, if they say yes, they want to get on the phone with you, then that takes them down a different customer journey map. If they say no, then that takes them down a different customer journey map. But you really have to think about, and it's so personal for every different business. So you really want to think about what steps are necessary in order for your customers to feel comfortable and know that you're the go-to expert in your space. I will tell you all the time, almost every single time when I'm working with small business clients, I can tell you that they have all the assets they already need. It's already there. They have the case studies, they have the testimonials, they have the brochures, they have the capability statement, they have the trainings, the white papers, all these different things, but they just don't necessarily know how they should be utilizing it. And so that's really the core of future-proof marketing. Future-proof marketing is not, putting together a website, no matter how fancy it is. Most people won't ever buy from just a website. They need more. They need to know that they can trust you. They need to know that you're reliable. They need to know that you are the go-to expert in their space. They need to know your process. They need to know your framework. And that's going to make all the difference in them going from cold to hot and actually becoming a paid customer and you delivering exceptional service. So that is how you go. That's truly the essence of future-proof marketing. But now I want to talk to you about creating a movement. So we talked about marketing, what that looks like, the way that you build that customer journey map. But now I want to talk to you about movement. Movement is much bigger than marketing, and movement is really where you want to think about your brand and your marketplace position. The reason why a movement is so important because movements are things that people stand behind. That's how you create a lifetime customer. Our customers, our clients that work with us, we're not just thinking about how can we increase their sales, how can we boost their revenue, how can we get them more customers. We're thinking about how can we make their businesses stronger, better, how can we have them stand the test of time. And you have to think about that as well. No matter if you're selling, if let's say the lifetime of, I'm going to go back to lighting. I don't know why lighting is on my brain right now, but let's say you're a lighting company and typically your light bulbs your LED lighting lasts for, let's say, 5 years. If you know that lifetime value, the value of that product is going to last them about 5 years, you want to start thinking about what that customer journey looks like long term, because you can't just wait until, you sell them the light bulb or you sell them the LED lights and then 5 years from now you connect with them again. No, you want to think about, well, hey, if they bought 10,000 LED lights or they bought 5 LED lights, let me not think in so big numbers, but let's say they bought 5 LED lights from you. You want to think about, okay, well, what about if they have another project and they need more LED lights? What if they are going to, what if they're working on a expansion of the project now and they need more? You always want to be thinking about the lifetime value and how you can consistently bring value to your customers. And the way that you do that is by creating a movement. That movement is going to be based on those core principles that we just went over about having that education, making sure that you're educating your customers in various forms, making sure that you have those consistent offers, and then also making sure that you have a community. Community is key when we're talking about really creating a movement. And what that community looks like, it comes in a lot of different forms. I will tell you, everything from live meetups where people are walking through their facilities once a month, from I've even seen some CEOs do dinner series where they have their customers come in and they do dinner series with them every single month. We also have things, and this is probably the most common, is a Facebook group. And those Facebook groups can be communities where people are connecting around their interest in your business and your space. And the great thing about that is not enough businesses are utilizing these Facebook groups. And the Facebook groups, of course, they're free. You can create them on LinkedIn as well. And if you're someone who says, I don't know, my community, my audience isn't necessarily on Facebook, I would say then think about how you can create what we like to call office hours or master classes or executive roundtables, where once a month or once a week, the frequency, of course, you would have to know your audience and know what would work best for them, but creating those consistent touch points so that your customers always know, hey, we're doing stuff. Hey, we're growing. Hey, these are the emerging trends. Hey, we're on top of stuff. Hey, we're cutting edge, because that's what's necessary in order to create that lifetime value for your customers. So those are the things that you really want to think about when you're talking about community. How are you going to house that community? What's the community need? How are you going to serve that community regularly? And then as you build that community and as it continues to grow and grow and grow, how are you going to nurture them? How are you going to extend the offers and remind them of the offers? I will tell you, typically when people say, I have it on my website, that they can book a free strategy session or a free consult call, but you're not actually reminding people of, hey, you can book a call with someone from my team, or hey, join us for our upcoming session, or whatever that may look like for you. It's just very important to make sure that you remind people regularly. And the reason why that's so important is because we're all busy. We have a million different things that we're thinking about, that we're working on. On top of that, we have all these different ads and all these different things coming up to us every single day. And it's hard to think about, unless you actually are regularly immersed in what the messaging is around your business and what it is around the solutions that you provide. People are going to forget. It's human nature. And so you want to make sure that you're regularly communicating with them. I will tell you the magic number of how many times it takes in order for someone to go from cold to paid customer. It's going to blow your mind. Can you guys guess? Let me know in the chat. Let me know how many you think. How many times do you think it takes from someone who knows nothing about your business to go from cold to hot in order to feel comfortable buying from you? Okay, I see some people say 8. I see 4. Ding, ding, ding. Someone said 16, and that is a magic number. It takes on average 16 touch points for someone to go from cold, which means they've never heard of you before, to feel comfortable enough to buy from you. Now, I will tell you, typically the way that you can expedite this, or the way that you can supercharge this, is typically by creating campaigns where you're regularly in front of them. So one thing that we do for our clients is we set up pixels on their Facebook, we set up a pixel from Facebook on their website. So what that means is, once someone goes to their website, it continuously follows them around on websites and on Facebook. And it's not in a way, I know some people are probably cringing when I say that, but it's not in a way that you're just trying to get people to buy from you. You're saying buy now, cart, abandoned cart, or 20% off, and then 30% off, and then 50% off. It's not like that. We're talking about specifically really trying to provide value to your dream customers. And the way that you're going to do that is just by reminding them of the offers that you're creating. The name of the game is no longer creating ads and discounting services and, just all these flashy red buttons. That's not the name of the game anymore. The name of the game now is really building community, and it's really about making sure that you're building connection and relationship with your customers. So now we talked about how to go from marketing to movement, and you also now know how to future-proof your marketing. Now, if you are wanting to know more about how you can future-proof your marketing, I am hosting a free live masterclass next week, next Wednesday, October 7th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 or 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. And that's going to be next week, October 7th. I would love for you to join me. And in this specific session, you'll learn all about future-proof marketing. You'll learn the keys to making sure that you are elevating your business, you're taking your business to new heights. You'll learn the 3 things that you must do to stand out in a crowded market. You'll learn the hack to quickly become the go-to expert in your space. And you will learn how to build a pipeline of pre-qualified. Did you hear that? Pre-qualified customers. I will tell you the strategies that I'll be sharing in this specific masterclass are the same strategies that we use for not just our Fortune 100 clients, but also our small business clients, helping them make 6- and 7-figure increases in their business. So join me. It's a free masterclass. It's only going to be about an hour long. And if you're interested, you can head over to training.courtneynewwell.com. That's training.courtneynewwell.com. And you'll get the information once you sign up. And I also have a free bonus for those of you who sign up. And that's going to be my free 5-day future-proof your business in a crisis. So if you're interested, again, head over to training.courtneynewwell.com. Sign up, and it's a live masterclass. Bring your questions. There will be quite a few of us on that call or on that training. And I want to make sure that I answer all your questions and that you leave with some hardcore strategy that you can implement right away. So I will see you on that training. And thank you so much for joining me for this session of Future Proof Friday. I will see you next week, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye now.